In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the arguments we can supply to a function. So here's an example of a function definition. We are creating a function called greet, and this function accepts two arguments, name and greeting. And then the return value is this a character string where we combine uh, the greeting argument, a comma, and then the name argument, finally followed by an exclamation mark. The paste function here combines all of these into one single string, and then the return function indicates that that is the value we wish to return from this function. Now, what you'll notice here is that the greeting argument, which should be highlighted in yellow, in the function definition, we actually say it's equal to something. What this is, this character string hello, is a default value for this argument. So when you actually call the function later on, you don't need to specify something for the greeting argument. You can leave it out, and in that case, the function will just use the default value. We don't have a default value for the name argument, so we always have to supply an actual value as the name whenever we call the function. So here's an example of how we could do that. We could just say greet and pass the character string Alice to the name argument. And then when the function runs, it then uses the default value for the greeting argument. And we get the combined character string, hello Alice. If we wish to, we can also supply an actual value to the greeting argument. Right? Here we can say greeting equals hi. And so because we have customized the value, instead of using the default hello, it will use hi instead. And so the return value combines hi with the name argument Bob. Now, one thing to note here is that we have supplied these arguments in the order that they were defined, right? So we have written name as the first argument in the function definition and greeting as the second argument. And wherever we've called the function, we have then supplied the name value as the first argument to the function and the greeting as the second argument. Now, if for some reason you wish to supply the arguments in a different order, you can do so in R as long as you use the argument name when you're calling the function, right? So here we are calling the function with the argument in the opposite order, right? So name we are passing as the second argument and greeting as the first argument. And we can do that as long as we indicate the names of the arguments, as you see here, so that R can correctly identify which of these values goes to which argument. Right? If we left out greeting equals and left out name equals and just said greet hi Charlie, it would assume that hi was actually the name and Charlie was the greeting. Right? So we have to be very explicit when we want to supply arguments in the non-default order.